Chapter of Group 3. Environmental Ethics.
Environmental ethics. Proponents of the Iluggo River Revival program held a colorful regatta of the Tinajeros Tulahan River and crowned a Little Miss Earth Day. Ginanap yung Earth Day noong April 22, 1990, the second of such celebration since 1970. Time International explained the reason for the celebration with solemnity and joy. The world pauses to pay tribute to its common heritage, Mother Earth, and warn people everywhere that the clock is ticking and the hours is late. So bakit nagkaroon ng Earth Day? Kasi sa panahon natin ngayon, lalo na ngayon, ay sira na o wasak na yung ating kalikasan. Kunting ulan lang, malakas na baha agad. Bakit? Kasi wala nang mga punong kahoy. Yung kagubatan natin is nakakalbo na. Wala na yung mga punong kahoy, yung mga ugat na sumisipsip ng tubig ilog na magiging makakatulong upang mapigilan yung pagbaha. So kaya nagkaroon ng Earth Day para magawa ng solusyon yung mga gantong pangyayari. Magawa natin ng paraan para mapigilan yung pagbaha ng malakas.
Environmental Ethics.
Environmental ethics refers to man's moral obligation to preserve the environment and the natural order of things. Number 1. The man has moral obligation to preserve environment and derived from God's eternal law, which according to St. Augustine is precisely the command of God that man preserve the natural order of things and not to disturb it. Number 2, the purpose of environmental ethics is the conservation of the environment since man's survival is interrelated with the environment. Number 3, the duty to preserve environment involves respecting the natural order of things by not intervening carelessly with the work of nature.
Ecology.
Ecology comes from the Greek word ekos, meaning habitation or home. Ecology as science is about our home, planet Earth. It is the study of interrelation of organism in an environment of the process linking organism and place. Ecological environment includes all external forces and conditions acting on a organism or community or of organism, whether climatic, chemical, and biological. Climatic conditions refer to the temperature and humidity prevailing in any geographic locations. Chemical conditions refer to the type and concentration of chemicals in soil, water, and air. Biological conditions refer to the interrelation of living things or organisms in their communities.
Man and ecology.
In ecology, man is part of the ecosystem. He is not a part, nor above nature, but in it. He is rooted on the environment as much as the tree in his mortal life is independent on the ecosystem. Man did not arrive on planet Earth as if he had alighted from some spaceship. He is the product of the soul and told in the book of Genesis. He is part of the world and the world is part of him. And man is aware of this. He is aware that he is separate, self, an individual, being different from other creatures. But he is also aware that his self is a center of organization, constantly drawing on and influencing the surroundings, whose skin and behavior are soft-sewn, contacting the words instead of excluding it.
Ecological man.
Ecological man. Man's relatedness with the environment is an assumed truth of ethics. This view is not entirely new. Traces of it are found in the abundance tells how God formed man from the soil, breathed life to him, and placed him in the Garden of Eden from where he may eat and nourish himself, except with the one providing fruit and Garden of Eden refers to environment where everything is beautiful and peaceful, a paradise until the devil comes and decide man into disturbing the natural order of things contrary to God's pain. Next po.
Lost Paradise.
Lost paradise. Both myth and science point to Earth as an ecological paradise. But somehow man lost his sense of affinity with nature with the rise of Puritanism. Thomas Merton blames the Puritan settlers who regarded it a religious duty to wage war against nature. The Puritans regarded the wilderness as the domain of moral wickedness since encouraged spontaneity, which is a sin. Thomas Merton writes, if Merton is correct, then the Puritans were the sagely men spoken by the Taoists. However, we don't think only the Puritans and the pioneers regarded the wilderness as the source of prosperity, real estate, money, and urbanized civil life. Every man craves for food, comfort, and luxuries, human greed in the motive behind the wanton destruction of environment.
Environmental degradation.
Environmental degradation. Environmental degradation is the large-scale depletion of Earth and its resources as a result of human activities. The rapid increase in human population in the last 100 years has changed the global environment in a scale comparable to a major geologic or climatic forces. Animal and human population behave similarly when they multiply beyond the supportive capabilities of the environment. They pollute their habitats, exhaust natural resources, succumb to severe competition for food, and suffer strife, malnutrition, disease, and social breakdown.
The Philippines situation.
The Philippine situation. The Star Week, in its April 22, 1990 issue, gives this picture of ecological problem of our country. Only 20% of the country's forest cover remain. In the 1950s, 5% of the country's land was covered with a tropical rainforest with diverse flora and fauna. Due to large-scale mining operations and deforestation upstream, however, our country is losing 100% hectares of productive agricultural land per year. In many provinces, erosion is on the rise. Sa ngayon, ang Pilipinas is naghihirap na sa pagdating sa mga forestation. Kasi karamihan sa atin yung mga ginagawang hanap buhay, yung pagdi-deforestation, yung pag-uuling, kagaya nung ganun, yung mining. 'Di ba? Dapat mapigilan yun. Imagine na every year naglo-loss tayo ng 100,000 hectares of productive agricultural land. So, 'di ba napakalaki ng kawalan nun para sa atin? 70% of our coral reefs are now destroyed. Of the remaining coral, only 6% are in excellent condition. Imagine, napakaunti na lang ng coral reefs natin. Nasabantalang dati 70%. Ay, 70% yung na-destroy, tapos yung natira na lang is 66% na lang. Di ba? Bakit ba nasisira yung coral reefs natin? Dahil yan sa mga, yung dynamite, yung pagpapaputok sa dagat. Dapat pinipigilan yung, kasi kahit yung nasisira yung coral reefs natin dun kahit yung mga maliliit na isda natin namamatay. So in the 1950s, the archipelago had 500 hectares of mangrove. Today, only 38,000 hectares remain. Napakaunti na lang nang natira. Dati 500,000. Ngayon ay 38,000 na lang. Our water are polluted. All rivers in Metro Manila are biologically dead. Many more are on the same state in province. So, yung tubig natin ngayon hindi na rin malinis dito sa Pilipinas. Bakit? Sa dami na ng overpopulated na tayo. Sa dami ng tao, nagiging madumi na yung ilog. Yung iba doon na nagtatapon ng mga dumi, 'di ba? Yung mga basura doon na rin tinatapon, lalong-lalo na sa Metro Manila. Kasi mas maraming tao doon. So, yung mga tubig natin doon is yung mga ilog natin doon patay na. Kumbagay madumi na. Hindi na siya kagaya dati na sobrang linis na doon ka naglalaba, pwede doon maligo, ganun. Ngayon wala na, madumi na talaga. Kahit doon sa mga province lang, marami na din yun, madumi na din. Like dito sa amin, marami pa naman dito sa amin naliliguan na ng mga ilog-ilog, pero syempre hindi mo makikita yung dumi kasi durog na yun, pero madumi pa din naman.
Morality and technology.
Morality and technology. Technology is the complex technique for achieving a predetermined result through rationalized process using various hardware such as machines, instruments, or robots. There are doubt technology has benefited mankind, and yet the jungles that our cities are and the savage that we have become, says Thomas Shannon, are integral to technology. Likewise, Barry Commoner observes that we have linked much of our economy to precisely those futures of technology which are ecological destructive. Henry Thoreau wants to try subject everything in the man of rational and conscious control would be to rough, diminish, and barbarize him, so though the reduction of all nature to use for profit would end in the dehumanization of man. So sinasabi po sa topic na ito is nang dahil po sa technology, ang environment natin ay uutay-utay na nasisira, nauubos at napupuksa.
Ecology conscience.
Ecological conscience. Ecological conscience has the following aims. Number 1. To place technology and ecological perspective before man is destroyed by the side effect of the own tools. Number 2. To permit the Western nations to make sacrifices necessary to equalize the gross inequities between the industrialized and underdeveloped nation without wreaking havoc on the unique and irreplaceable cultural values of the third world. Number 3 po. To expose the foolishness of the resilience of the ecological insane military machines. Next po.
The world is our body.
The world is our body. In a traditional thinking, man is a ruler of the earth, but contemporary philosophy regards it absurd to speak of any organism as a governing or ruling others. Man is a part of created universe which is one large ecosystem. Alan Watts illustrates this interdependence of all creatures. Once upon a time, the mouth, the hands, and the feet said to each other, "We do all things work gathering food and chewing it up, but that lazy fellow, the stomach, does nothing. It's a high time he did some work too, so let's go on strike." Whenever upon they went many days without working, but soon found themselves feeling weaker and weaker, until at last each other realized that the stomach was their stomach, and that they have to go back to work to remain alive.